Human beings have a tendency not to believe without touching, without seeing. This is our nature, and it is not different. Even with the disciples of Jesus, when he resurrected from the dead, we know that Thomas and to really see. He would not believe when he was told that Jesus appeared. It is painful for one to try all the best to be open and clear, and yet still being doubted or at worst not be believed. You can imagine if it is your experience when people do not believe you, and not just people, but people whom you have lived with, your friends, people know you very well. You know, like Jesus was saying that a prophet is without honor in his own hometown, even when he was alive with his mission on earth before his death and resurrection. He would not be accepted in his own hometown. You can imagine how people take you from where you come from. Even some families, some things happen, and some people, they don't want to believe. If they're progressing, they say they are using evil powers maybe to get wealth. They don't believe. People, people have tendency not to believe that God can shift you, can shift your life from one situation to another. Of course, with your handwork, you can do, and you have different results, and people always not to believe. Worse as well is when you are innocently persecuted for what is evidently true, a sin. This is how Jesus was treated by the apostles. The difference between some of us and apostles is that some give up their faith or given in to the demands of the persecutors. Victory is for those who persist. If you do not persist, you cannot have victory in any area. You must be persistent in what you do. That is even according to Gospel of Matthew chapter 24 verses 13 and Luke 18:8. To see Jesus is to have an experience with him, is to take part in his life itself as they ate the bread provided, because sharing a meal was a sign of sharing life between the host and the visitor. Even now, when you visit a home, and especially in African culture, I don't know about the other cultures, you are normally given something. You can't go in an African home and you just live like that. It's a custom. You have to be given something. You have to share something as a sign of oneness, as a sign of appreciation. It's also equally painful to have a friend or a person who has just shared life experience. And in this case of Jesus, bread, because he shared bread with his disciples, with his apostles, with you, and not believe in you in other cases. How much we owed Jesus by our denial that is expressed in our disbelief, not believing. We crucify him daily, spiritually, as we reject him through our behaviors that indicate disbelief and persecute those who believe in him. We want to pray today that dealing God to help us to believe, even when we do not understand, because the matter spiritual is about faith. You can never understand faith. If you seek to understand faith, you may even lose it. And so these are mysteries of God. And there are very many proofs to have believed in God, not to doubt in him. Remember when Jesus told the crowd, people, that at least if they do not believe in him, let them believe in his works. And there are many works that Jesus has performed, that he performs daily in our lives. You wake up in the morning not because of your own power, not because of your strength, but by the grace and power of God. That is one reason to believe in God. You don't know when you sleep what happens. You don't know even when you are normally ill. When you fall deeply asleep, you plant and then growth takes place. You can see it rains and the soil. You can bring all the science that you know, but it's not about the science, because you can still plant and it rains and it is on fertile soil and you harvest nothing, or it will not germinate. And the seeds that you planted are not spoiled or rotten. And so let us always have that belief in God, knowing that we do not really have to see. We have to have faith in God, the giver of life.